We are now going to go to Dr. Wily's castle, and yep, you can't have a Dr. Wily's castle without a eyebrow-raising segment. And it's always interesting, especially in fan games, to see what kind of castle we're going up against, what it looks like. And this one looks kind of like Technicolor. Like any other like standard traditional castle, the first level is more or less nondescript. It's almost like you're on the pathway leading up to the castle, and it seems like this particular level demonstrates that pretty good. So I mean, you could be going for quite a few minutes in the castle, and it seems like you're still on the approach. You're not fully at the actual castle entrance yet. And there isn't so many gimmicks in this stage, where, some of the other stages like Repairman or Repo Man or some such, they have like one major stage gimmick. This particular stage, there isn't any sort of real platforming to go, to overcome. It's more or less just a grueling obstacle course of enemies and robots that you have to bash through. So in that sense, it's a little bit uninspired. Some of the later Wily Castle stages in this game are a little bit more unique, but this one's more or less run-of-the-mill, as it were. Yeah, I'm not going to even bother with these guys, so sometimes it's best to use the door stopper when there's too many ledge bats on screen. Figuratively and literally speaking. In fact, he seems to love those little box enemies. The ones that just fly in figure-8 patterns. Dropping little pellets on your head, making sure you fall deep into the abyss. This is actually one of the worst areas too, actually. So the more you have on screen at once, when you drop the door stopper, the better. And those, I don't know what you call the big eyes or whatever, the ones he likes to overuse way too much in this game. If it weren't for the fact that they actually don't do that much damage, this whole area would be a lot more dangerous than it is. So for that, I'm actually thankful that they don't do as much damage as they traditionally do in official Mega Man games. Apparently that bat is running away. I'm not really sure where the midpoint is, but I'm pretty sure this is it. I did a couple test runs on this, and I didn't really have too many problems with this level. In fact, this level is really not that bad, especially considering most Wily stages are one of the more harder stages in the traditional sense. So, followed up by Wily Stage 2, which also traditionally is typically harder than most other stages. So this actually breaks the mold a bit by being a pretty easy stage to get through. But it does keep on going on and on and on. I mean, there's only so many, rocket ducks and bats and big eyes and box enemies that you go through before it's just like, okay, are we done? Are we almost over with this level? What's going on? And then this appears. You're like, oh, thank goodness. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire level. Nothing really special about it. It's just one big grueling course. Now here's what's interesting about the Wily Castle bosses. Wily actually comes down to try and face you each and every time. So instead of some random giant mecha, it's Wily. And Wily has a new machine every time you face him. So that's actually pretty interesting and unique about this game. Wily actually gets his hands dirty 4 different times in this game. And to my knowledge, I think the top portion of this giant mecha that he's in, is actually vulnerable only to charged shots. I think everything else just bounces off. But as you can see, he's very easy. So, compared to the first 8 Robot Master stages, this first Wily stage, boss and all, is quite the breather. So, I'm very thankful for that. Gives me hope for the rest. And we're done. We're going to move on to the next one in the next video.